There's some really exciting sounding new fragrances launching soon, and I'm going to talk to you about them here in this video. Some of these have not been announced yet officially. You're going to find out what they are coming right up. Thanks so much for tuning in. It's Sebastian. We're talking about brand spanking new releases. Some of these you might not be aware of yet, but I'm going to let you know. Some of these probably already have launched, but I'm including them here in this video of brand spanking new fragrances. So let's go ahead and get started. But before I do though, let me know if there's something that you're excited for that's going to drop soon. Put a comment down below so I can find out. But the first thing I'm going to let you know about, which I've already spoke about here probably several months ago, is a relaunch of Maison Francis Kurkdjian's APOM. So I actually just got a whiff of this fragrance. Somebody showed it to me at a retailer. And to me, it didn't smell like exactly like the male version of APOM, which I have a couple of backup bottles of. And also it didn't really smell like the female version. I did hear that it's a combo of the two. So it's a bit confusing to me as to what's going to happen, but apparently it's launching very, very soon. I believe late August, early September from the house of Maison Francis Kurkdjian. If you have some scoop on it, do let us know. Put a comment down below. But looking forward to APOM launching very soon from the house of Maison Francis Kurkdjian. Moving on to the house of Goldfield and Banks. I don't have exact information on this one yet as well. It's Mystic Bliss. I haven't got my nose on this one. I'm curious to get my nose on it. But if you have some information or scoop on this one, do let us know. Put a comment down below. But Goldfield and Banks Mystic Bliss is going to be launching very soon as well. Then, moving on to the house of Parfums de Marly, it's Palatine. So I've heard this is a feminine targeted release. When was the last time they launched feminine? I think it was Valaya, right? So this is launching soon from Parfums de Marly, and we shall find out more about it as soon as it's announced, but it is coming very, very soon. So we've got a new fragrance from Chanel, not a brand spanking new collection, but a flanker to a long-standing fragrance that dates back to the mid-90s. It's the ALLURE HOMME collection, and this is ALLURE HOMME Sport SUPERLEGGERA. What a name, right? We shall see how it is. So there's already 4 in this series or collection, so this is the 5th. There might have been a few that came and went as well. I haven't kept up, but me personally, in my collection, I have 4 different fragrances in this collection. So I'm curious to get my nose on Superleggera. ALLURE HOMME Sport Superleggera. I believe there's 2 ALLURE HOMME Sports currently, and then there's the original ALLURE HOMME, and then there's also Edition Blanche as well. So next, again, more fragrances that don't have official announcements yet, but there's been some stuff posted here and there. This is Matiere Premier's Crystal Saffron in the Extrait of Parfum concentration. So this is a fragrance I did not care for. This is another Ambroxan fragrance I did not care for. Same thing with their vanilla powder. Didn't care for it, but I'm actually really obsessed with both of them. They've kind of grown on me. Seems to be happening a lot with the Ambroxan in fragrances, because I also didn't care for Maison Francis Kurkdjian's Baccarat Rouge 540. Now I'm obsessed with the way it smells. So this is an Extrait de Parfum version of Crystal Saffron, soon to launch. Stay tuned for that. The official announcement should happen very, very soon. The next fragrance I'm talking about is Cartier's Pasha de Cartier Noir Absolu Limited Edition. So finally, we've got a fragrance that has some info on it. And I'm not certain if this is just a limited edition bottle, or is it a different take on the Noir Absolu. I wasn't really big on the Noir Absolu. I first liked it, and I thought later it was not really great. I love the bottle. And then this new bottle is also really super sexy looking. This features notes of spun sugar, caramel, woodsy notes, spices, tonka beans, smoke, violets. So it kind of seems like a similar notes breakdown of the original, but not quite. So I'm curious to get my nose on this. We shall see when it launches and what it smells like. If you've got any scoop on any of these fragrances, if you sample them, do let us know. Put a comment down below. But moving on to the house of Kerosene. Finally, after Followed. Did they launch anything else after Followed? I don't think they did. This is Promises, and it's a vanilla amber bomb from what I see or hear about. This is created by John Pegg, and it's amber, musk, and vanilla. These are the notes that they've listed for this particular fragrance, and I'm quite excited. I do enjoy known pleasures from this house. It's really delicious lemon gourmand. So I also like Follow, and I like Follow to an extent. I featured it in a video over the weekend of diffusive fragrances. If you haven't caught that video, please go catch it. But really looking forward to Promises and Promises. Sounds really great because I'm a lover of amber and vanilla, or vanilla in general. So this sounds really, really great for me. All right, next up, going to the House of Fragrance du Bois. It's Rude Oud, created by Christian Provenzano. I actually really love the name of this fragrance, and I'm glad somebody's using it. So if you've gotten your nose on it, do let us know. This is a Harrods exclusive. So when I go to my event at Harrods for Juice Box, I'm going to hopefully get my nose on this and see what it's all about. Hopefully there'll be a bunch of different Harrods exclusives that I can get my nose on. But that would be at the end of August when we do the Juice Box event. But this features notes of amber, leather, oud, rose, raspberry, and saffron. Sounds like a typical oud, rose, leathery kind of a thing, targeted to Middle Eastern type of notes and things like that. Always curious to get my nose on it. I like Christian Provenzano and his creations, so we shall see how it is. But moving on to the House of Memo Paris, it's Palais Bourbon. So this has really exciting notes, and I'm reading some stuff here and there. People have said it reminds them of some vintage classic fragrances. So Memo Paris had a fragrance called Manoa, which I actually ended up buying a bottle in their Paris boutique just before it was complete. Actually, it was discontinued. They told me they only have 5 or 6 bottles left, so I bought one of those bottles. It's gone, long gone. This kind of sounds like that fragrance. It features notes of incense, Akigalawood, benzoin. There's resins here, patchouli, geranium, tonka beans, sandalwood, black pepper, bark, and oud. Manoa to me smells like a really luxurious take on Shalimar. I've heard things about this smelling like Shalimar as well, Palais Bourbon. Also, I've read that this is an older release. I'm not 100% sure if it's brand spanking new. So we shall see what it's all about, but I'm curious to see Palais Bourbon. If you've gotten your nose on it, if you know any info on it, do let us know. Moving on to the House of Jo Malone, we've got Orange Marmalade. This has been all over everywhere. I've been bombarded with ads and things like that on social media with Paddington Bear. And Paddington Bear is eats or consumes orange marmalade. So I think they've created a fragrance. But this, and also I realized that this might be a re-release because I thought for some strange reason Jo Malone already had an orange marmalade fragrance. Either way, it's orange peel, bitter orange, cashmere wood, clary sage. Do let us know what you think if you've already got your nose on it. I believe this is already out. Maybe it's not out here in the States, but maybe it is out in the UK, in London, and places like that. If you've gotten your nose on it, do let us know what it smells like, because I'm curious. I love orange fragrances. It's totally different than like a lemon-focused fragrance. It's a sweeter citrus. Do have a bit more of a coziness about the sweetness in the oranges compared to the astringency of the lemons. Up next, 2 fragrances from the House of Acro. These might already be out, although I think this one's still on its way. This is Glow. Glow is a new fragrance from Acro. I'm curious to get my nose on it. This is also something that's reminding me something similar to Promises, with some additional notes. This is amber, vanilla, frankincense with pink pepper. It's an amber vanilla fragrance, and I'm quite curious to get my nose on it. I do enjoy Acro's fragrances, but lately I have been a bit underwhelmed. I like the first batch of fragrances that they launched and a few others here and there. This one actually sounds quite exciting, and I'm curious to get my nose on it. If you've gotten your nose on it, as I said for the last fragrance, do let us know. And this next one is called Smile, once again created by Olivier Cresp. It's musk, raspberries, ambrette seeds, bergamot, and sage. So fruity, musky. Ambrette seeds and musk are, creating an ambery muskiness to the fragrance, and then it has some citruses and aromatics. I believe this one's already out, and Glow should be coming very soon. If you've gotten your nose on those two, do let us know. But the next fragrance I'm going to talk to you about is Indult's Queer 404. This is a redo of their long-standing fragrance. Indult fragrances are all created by Francis Kurkdjian, except for the newest launch that they did last couple of years ago, but initially the fragrances were launched in the 2000s, just before Francis Kurkdjian created his own brand, Maison Francis Kurkdjian. So I believe this fragrance has been reformulated and it's now called Queer 404. I have a video on the old fragrance and I forgot what the old one is called, but something with the word queer in it as well. So I guess they had to contact Francis Kurkdjian to reformulate this fragrance. So it's leather, suede, vetiver, bergamot, cardamom, cedar, citruses, cloves, and pink pepper. I believe Indult's most famous fragrance or most popular fragrance is Tihota. It's a musky vanilla fragrance. Are you familiar with that one? Let us know. But I'm curious to see what Francis Kurkdjian has done to this fragrance, redo it and modernize it. But moving on to the house of Hiram Green, it's Trist. And I do enjoy Hiram Green's fragrances. They're all natural fragrances, very indie artisanal. And this seems to be a new take on Orange Blossom. I believe he already has an Orange Blossom fragrance or Neroli focused fragrance. This is Neroli Orange Blossom, Orange Zest, Green Buds, and Resins. Sounds quite nice. It seems like it's going to settle to a resinous amber thing, which is all up to citrus florals and citruses and things like that. So I'm going to have to get my nose on this. And the brand's carried over at Ministry of Scent here in San Francisco if you're curious to check them out. Next up, going to the House of Fleur, it's Vanilla Skin. So I actually got to sample this at Sephora. Fleur fragrances are carried over at Sephora. I liked what I smelled, but I have to, fully test the fragrance and see what it's all about. It's created by Clement Gavari. It's featuring notes of benzoin, oud, sandalwood, vanilla, jasmine, cashmere wood, lilies, pink apples, pink pepper, and sugar. Yeah, I enjoyed it. It's a vanilla, another vanilla fragrance. Vanilla is one of the most popular notes in fragrances, so it's obvious everybody launches a vanilla fragrance. And would like to circle back to this and check it out. But also, before I move on, I recently got my nose on the new Ormond Jane Vanitas Afrique. Wow, I really, really love that vanilla fragrance. If you guys haven't gotten your nose on it, it's super amazing. To me, it smells a bit like kind of a masculine take on vanilla once again, but it's got like this mastic resiny touch in it, but it's a fusion of iris and vanilla. But moving on to the next fragrance, it's Xerjoff's HOMME Anniversary. I've never really gotten my nose on the original HOMME, if there was such a thing, because it seems like this might be a redo or an anniversary edition of HOMME. It's leather with styrax, candied fruits, moss, tonka beans, vanilla, cloves, orange blossom, tarragon, lemon mousse, and bergamot. Have you gotten your nose on this one? I'd like to get my nose on it. I do enjoy Xerjoff, and now Xerjoff is sold here at Neiman Marcus. If you're in town, check them out over there. And of course, they're also sold at ZGO Perfumery. So next we've got Ulika's Nota Loca. So are you guys familiar with this house? I did a video on their first fragrance, which reminded me of pineapple upside down cake. Now we've got a new kind of a fruity fragrance created by Stéphane Jérôme Pernodate. I think that's the name of the person. This fragrance features notes of musk, tonka beans, vanilla, cardamom, mangoes, papaya, acai berries, coconut, and yuzu. The fragrances are sold over at Lucky Scent. So if you're in the LA area, you can go check them out or visit their website to discover. But the previous fragrance was quite delicious. And again, it reminded me of pineapple upside down cake. So super delicious offering from that house. And the last two fragrances I'm going to talk to you about are from the house of Nikos. Now they're starting to make a bunch of flankers. I have not gotten my nose on the previous flanker that launched earlier this year. It was like an ambery resinous take on the Nikos DNA. Sculpture DNA, I should say. Now we've got Sculpture Air de Lune, Sculpture Reverie. So Sculpture Air de Lune is bourbon vanilla musk with plums, patchouli, pralines, orange blossom, cloves, tagettes, mandarin orange. I'm not sure how I'm going to get my nose on these, but the Parfum edition that came out a couple years ago was at the discounters and I was able to buy a bottle and I enjoyed it. So hoping to get my nose on these as soon as I can. But I guess the first one's going to be the previous one that launched earlier this year. So I'm just wondering why they're doing so many flankers lately. The next one is Sculpture Reverie, and it features notes of bourbon vanilla, cocoa, musk, patchouli, amber, cherry, rose, orange blossom, brooms, black pepper, chili, red pepper, and saffron. So this one sounds a bit unisex to me, the fact that it has rose and cherries. Could be very masculine leaning, but again, curious to get my nose on these fragrances. Hopefully they're going to be great. I feel like all of a sudden they're cranking out a bunch of fragrances and hopefully they're not going to fall flat and be boring releases. Although they can be, because they seem like they're they're just too much all of a sudden back to back, and not giving enough time to come up with something original. But again, I haven't got my nose on these. If you've gotten your nose on these, do let us know. Put a comment down below. But that's all. It's 19 fragrances I'm talking about today. The very first few are still up in the air. They haven't officially been announced, but hopefully soon. But let me know, which ones are you excited most about? Put a comment down below. And again, if there's something else out there that you want to me to speak about that has been announced as well, do let me know what that is as well. Put a comment down below so we can all find out. But either way, guys, thanks so much for watching today's video. If you have any questions or comments, please do list below. Please like this video, please share it, follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye. We do have some bonus fragrances that I'm going to talk to you about here. Lancôme has just launched a big collection of 11 fragrances called Lancôme ABSOLU Le Parfums collection. And they're all focused on the note of rose, and it all takes on rose with different ingredients and things like that. And they're all different perfumers. I'm not sure if this collection will end up here because the previous luxury collection was selling here at Bloomingdale's for a while. It is now gone. At least I haven't seen it there. So I don't know if these are going to get a official release. Also, the bottles seem a bit cheap to me, so I don't know how luxurious these are going to be. The notes breakdowns seem very simplistic as well, but they also kind of remind me of that previous luxury collection, but more of the rose-focused ones. Like, for example, Oud Bouquet. It's May Rose, Oud, and Praline. So is it just the rebranding of the bottles? I don't know. This was created by Fabrice Pellegrin initially, and so we'll see how it is. But if you've gotten your nose on it, let us know. Next, it's 1001 Roses, created by Louise Turner. It's featuring notes of damask rose, May rose, and musk. So all of these are rose focused. If you're not a fan of roses, you're probably not going to enjoy these. But the next one is 6 AM Rose, created by Fanny Bal along with Dominique Ropion. It's Dewdrops, French Jasmine, Lily of the Valley, and May Rose, followed by Rose or Die, created by Frank Volkel, Black Tea, Gaiac-wood, May Rose, and Peony, followed by Rose on the Moon by Fabrice Pellegrin, Frankincense, May Rose, Sandalwood, Vanilla. Next, it's Not Your Rose, created by Caroline Demure. It's Aquatic Notes, Ice Accord, May Rose, Moss, and Musk. Then followed by Storm and Roses, Fanny Bal, Blackcurrant Bud, Absolute, May Rose, Patchouli, and Rain Accord. Followed by I Blamed a Rose. These names are getting kind of weird, aren't they? Created by Daphne Bouget. It's Ambrox, May Rose, Patchouli, and Vetiver. Hell of a Rose. Nathalie Lorson created. Ambrette Seeds, Damask Rose, Grapefruit, May Rose, Vetiver, Woods. Hot as Rose, Alexandra Monet and Alberto Morias. It's Blackcurrant Bud, Bouchou, Cypress, Juniper, May Rose, Rosemary, and Thyme. Finally, Le Parfum, created by Aliénor Massenet along with Caroline Vieth. It's Jasmine, May Rose, Musk, White Tea. So what the heck is going on with this collection? Is this just a rebranding of their previous luxury collection, or is it just a brand new collection? If anybody has the scoop, please let us know. I'm curious to get my nose on it, but that's a lot of rose fragrances. What did they do? I don't know. And I don't even know what the price point on these fragrances are. They do seem a little simplistic. Do you guys enjoy the Lancôme fragrances? I know Oud Bouquet was really popular for a while. I don't know what happened to it. I actually ended up buying their Iris fragrance, and I believe the Iris was created by Nathalie Lorson, and it got discontinued right away. That was disappointing because I really enjoyed that Iris. Kind of a gourmand. I think it was called Iris Dragé or something like that. I'm forgetting the name. It's been a while since it was discontinued. But I'm curious to get my nose on these. If you have any info on them and if you've gotten your nose on them, do let us know. Put a comment down below. And that's pretty much all I have for you guys today in this video. Thanks so much for watching. See you guys later. Bye-bye.